Hey, what's up YouTube? New Vamp here, and hey, I can talk. Anyway, just wanted to show you the campaign map of Total War Shogun 2, and just kind of give you an insight onto what I am doing in terms of strategy, and probably get into a battle. Alright, so here is my empire. This is the Tokugawa Empire, and if you want to get historical about it, the Tokugawa eventually turned into the Shogunate. They emerged the victors out of this entire Edo period. And their Tokugawa reign lasted all the way until the late 1800s, when I forgot what the name of the war was, but if you've ever seen The Last Samurai, then you know what I mean. Basically, the Imperials went up against the Shogunate, which happened to be the Tokugawa at the time, and, well, let's say that the Tokugawa lost. So, as of right now, I am not the biggest fish in the pond. To the north of me, I have the Uesigi. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, these guys are pretty damn huge, and I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up waging war with them, or vice versa. To the south, or to the west, this map is kind of construed, but to the west we have the Sagami, or the Hojo, and these guys have been a pain in the dick, seriously. These guys are kind of pissing me off. I've tried to attack these guys several times, and they're pretty heavily fortified. I haven't tried Sagami, and now that I look at it in hindsight, it might actually be better if I do so. Because that means that he's cornered, and all he has is that one little island. Granted, he does have a peninsula, not an island. And that allows him to be very advantageous against sea, but, when it comes down to this version of Shogun 2, sea battles aren't really that necessary. I haven't built up a navy, and I haven't really done anything else for that matter in terms of actual seafaring. And why would I? I mean, it's not like I have any trade routes. So that's pretty much the enemies that I have. There is one more enemy that I have. He's small fry up here, Takeda. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I'm guessing that this is their final stronghold, and they're sandwiched between these guys, the Iko-Iki. Hopefully, once this is all done and over, I can expand southbound into these guys, and see what I can do from there. But, as of right now, I have several cities, and Mikawa is my original one. Owari is the first one I took, and Owari is actually kind of a crossroads because it goes into the Hattori. I think that the Hattori are the Shogunate. So if that were the case, then, it would be one hell of a fight to go up against these guys. And sooner or later, it's probably going to boil down to the fact that they're going to declare war on me anyway. Because if you look at the diplomacy, yeah, not a lot of people like me. And that's kind of the thing. When it comes down to diplomacy, the stronger you get, the more people hate you. Kind of like America. Yeah, I had to make that joke. So, pretty much, since I've been growing and becoming more influential from what I used to be, which was a vassal to a pretty crappy country, then the fact that I was expanding this quickly means that all these people are intimidated by me. These people are probably not going to declare war on me anytime soon. I never met Hitachi, so I can't really say anything about them. But, the Hattori, well, at least they're indifferent, thank God. But Hojo, I'm at war with. The Iko-Iki, they definitely don't like me. Hostile, apparently. Takeda, I'm at war with. Usagi, unfriendly. So, judging from that, I'm probably assuming that the Iko-Iki are going to try attacking me. And I'm guessing that's going to happen the moment I end up at their doorstep by taking this province. But, if they want to wage war with me, then, that's their choice. I'm not going to complain. Another development is that I recently took this castle from the Hojo, and As of right now, they don't particularly like me. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to actually do a little bit of overseeing. These guys are awesome. If I had enough money, I'd try bribing these people. You know, why fight them when you can bribe them? But so far, you know, these guys do have a large army as opposed to my relatively small military force. But the thing is that I'm in a castle, and these guys are rebels. And plus, I have these katana samurai. I'm hoping to get more people, but progress has been pretty slow so far. I'm going to get some Yari cavalry pretty soon. It's not going to do dick when it comes to enforcing strongholds, so I'm actually going to have to dismount them when defending this castle. And odds are they're probably going to pillage the stables and this farmland, which is going to cause a problem with my income, which is kind of steadily going down the more I build my forces. So sooner or later I'm going to have to act, and I'm probably going to have to act against Sagami. So let's take a look, end the turn, go into autumn. Oh, shit. Huh. Well, isn't that a predicament? Of course, considering what's going on, I'm going to have to figure out what my troops can do. These guys kind of caught me with my pants down. But from what it looks like, these are bowmen, which is fuck. Alright. Definitely have to quick save that. See what I can do. Kasahara Chikasune. I think that's how you pronounce it. Battle of Izu Fields. Right now, I'm trying to think in my head what I can do in this situation. Definitely, I am outnumbered. That's problem number one. And my guys don't have a whole lot backing them. So, once they start taking casualties, my morale is going to go down. So, I'm going to hope, for the love of God, that I can, well, honestly, I'm not exactly sure what to do. I really need to think about that. So yeah, these are my forces right now. I don't care what you have to say, but let's pair these guys. Alright, so let's see, we don't really have a whole lot when it really boils down to it. Apparently, it's a very hot summer day. I mean, look at this, look at the light bending on that. So, I don't think that, from what I can tell... You know, I don't understand why when I try to move my troops in Shogun 2 that I have to reposition them every time. Out of all the complaints that I have with Shogun 2, this seems to be the only one. It's a lot more sound and a lot more efficient than Total War Rome 2, which is kind of a mess. A mess that has improved substantially, but it doesn't prevent the fact that Rome 2 has been a fuck-up in launch. So, I'm really trying to think here. We definitely need a way to prevent flanking. I don't know if forests actually protect against archers. But I'm gonna make a... Alright. So let's pause this shit. Let's see what they have. So they have a lot of bow samurai. They have Yari Ashigaru, but the bow samurai are the things that I am concerned about the most. For several reasons. One is because these guys are going to be more accurate and they're going to have higher morale, so that's going to be an issue that I'm going to have to deal with. Secondly, since these are samurai, they're also going to be pretty formidable in melee. So I might actually need to use my cavalry, maybe even in a suicide charge to take these guys out, so rest in peace. The Yari Ashigaru, these guys are pretty dangerous as of right now just because of the numbers. It doesn't look... Oh, yes, I take that back. They do have samurai, so that's kind of a problem. Fuck. They have 2 generals, 3 generals, and I'm thinking that if I were to boil it down, I want my spearmen to attack the generals, I want my samurai to attack the bows, and I want my bowmen to attack the spearmen. If I can even get that thing to work, so... fingers crossed, let's see if we can do that. Alright, so let's take a look. I'm not going to make it to the forest in time, so I really need to... I really need to haul ass when it comes down to it. And why the fuck are they doing that? It's really starting to piss me off. Alright. If there's any advantage that Rome 2 has over Shogun 2, is the fact that the unit movement isn't this weird. Let's take a look. These guys are walking while I'm running. These guys are about to flank me, so I need to do a fucking distracted bonsai charge.
Our hidden units have been discovered, my lord.
Alright, shit. Alright, so we got our spearmen going in. The katana samurai are pretty fucked, unfortunately. But these generals are not taking it very well.
Is in grave danger, my lord.
Alright, so that was a stupid idea, unfortunately. Let's see what's going on here. If we can take these generals out, then we're in a better position than they are, even if we do lose. Yeah, so keep killing those guys, and yes, we took the general out, which is good. Quite good, actually, and yes, that is going to be a suicide charge. Unfortunately, I have no way to deal with that. Gotta play the hand you're dealt. So this is probably going to be a failure. But either way, from what it looks like, I am actually gaining some fairly good... Yeah, so there go my swordsmen, but at the same time I am going to attack the general because he did a very stupid move. I'm gonna... What we can do against these spearmen, probably not a whole lot, and we're getting sandwiched, so god damn it. But either way, we are taking out the general, and he's losing decisively. So if we were to take these generals out, then, you know, they may still win, but they're going to have some issues. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about these guys. They're stuck. Fuck. These guys caught me with my pants down is a problem. The fact that they're trying to snuff me out is pretty brilliant, but what can I do? Yeah, I lost immediately. But at the same time, I did quite a bit of damage. I think I took out 2 generals, close defeat. So, I may have lost, but at the same time, I did do quite a bit of damage to them, I want to say. We won't find out until we look at the statistics, which I hope go in my favor. I love these quotes, by the way. So yeah, we lost quite a bit of people. In fact, he actually did more damage than I did, so that's not good. And I lost a huge force, so that's not good. It's actually pretty terrible, but on the very dark, bright side, if you want to call it that, I have been able to do several things. Okay, so I have gone into another battle, this time with rebels, which I'm pretty confident that I can do well against, for several reasons, and you'll just have to find out. Admittingly, this is a pretty weird castle design. In fact, I think this is the first time I've seen that type of design. It's odd. So, let's go ahead, take a look, and see what we're going to be fighting up against. Usually when it comes to the game's AI, which I always base my tactics off of, then generally what's going to happen is that they're going to try to... A good way to put it, I guess, is that they are going to try and attempt to use their melee people first. I don't have any bowmen, which is going to be a huge issue. Well, not a huge issue, but it's going to be an issue nonetheless. So that's pretty much it. I actually have a better idea. Alright. So it seems like they're all headed in one direction. So since these people are actually attacking me from only one side, from what I can see, that means that all I need to do is to defend that one side. Of course, since they are kind of from the right, I am going to try and defend this side a little bit as well. Better safe than sorry. Alright, so let's dismount my cavalry. They are pretty much useless when you boil it down to defense. Kerbal Space Program. Maybe I should make a video on that. That'd be pretty fun. Alright. So as you can tell, things are pretty heavily fortified. Since they do have bowmen, they are going to fire at me. That's not going to do a whole lot because I am in a castle. Let's just speed this up. Yes, they're going to start shooting at me. Whoop-de-doo. I don't think I even lost anyone, did I? And now I've lost some people. Not by a whole lot, though. In fact, I have a tower that's actually shooting. Took a few people out. Alright, so these guys are going to try to climb up the castle. And it's going to be a pretty steep castle. Alright, so these guys are going to attempt to climb. I am going to send my general there.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord.
Well, that's what you get for being a general. That's all I could say. So these guys are climbing up. Some of them are falling to their death. But they're being met by katana samurai. That guy fell to his death. Combat is even? I don't think so. In fact, from the looks of it, they're doing pretty piss poor. I might want to send some retainers out there. Yeah, don't need to follow them. Alright, so these guys are... well, they're still fighting. Alright. So, as it stands right now, yes, these guys are sending a lot of people to take this castle. The problem is that's not going to matter. In fact, these guys are broken. They are routing, and in the meantime, they are getting slaughtered by this line of samurai. These guys are broken, routed. You know, they're non-issue. I wish I could chase them down, but, you know, that's just kind of insult to injury. Alright, so as it stands right now, it seems like once these Yari Ashigaru are dealt with, which shouldn't take too long, then we should be able to see these archers essentially give up and try to go into melee. But it looks like actually the cavalry units, which happen to be their general, are going to head in first. So we'll need to see how that works. So these guys are pretty much routing and broken. I don't know why they're climbing up to their doom. Some of them don't even make it. But yeah, these guys are pretty much screwed. Yep. What are these guys doing? Alright, well, if they want to play that game, that's their choice. I wasn't anticipating these guys to come back, but that's not going to be an issue. Alright. So, now the general is attacking. The general, out of all people... Yeah, that's a pretty crappy idea to send your general headfirst. Yeah, so once these guys are taken out,
Their general has fallen.
like so,
Parting blow.
and now these guys are even wavering. I might not even have to deal with these guys, so who knows. Of course, according to the ever so accurate battle statistics, their balance of power is even. I don't think so. I don't see why this would be such a bad idea. Let's just send them all in. Oh, am I seeing a glitch? These guys aren't moving at all. Alright, so problems aren't completely exclusive to Rome 2, apparently. Thinking that they had 2 years to perfect this game? Nope, they didn't do anything about it, unfortunately. Yeah, but so far these guys are pretty crap as is right now. So let's just take these guys out. They're not going to last a second. Actually, I take that back. Maybe they lasted 2 seconds. I didn't count.
My lord, a glorious victory will soon be yours.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it already is a victory. Sweet. Alright, well, let's continue. The greatest mistake is to let the enemy live. And yes, you know, that's going to go contradictory to what Sun Tzu said, but you know what, fuck it. This is Total War. It would be kind of cool if they made a Sun Tzu Total War. That'd be pretty interesting. Close victory? I think not. Politics in the Womb, in which war develops. Karl von Clausewitz. As I recall, I did a video on him once. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a history tidbit here on saying that generally there are a lot of generals that you could take inspiration from. The two that I take from the most are Sun Tzu and Karl von Clausewitz. And it's kind of interesting because Karl von Clausewitz actually read Sun Tzu, and he disagrees on several things that they said. I know what both samurai are, and glad that he increased in rank. But back to what I was saying, Karl von Clausewitz knew Sun Tzu. He read The Art of War, and I think it's mandatory for every general in the world to read that book. So, he formed his own theory, and it was in the book called Of War. Now, Sun Tzu and Karl von Clausewitz both agree that war should not be a very elongated war, because the longer war continues, then the more people are going to die, the more expensive it's going to get, the more damage you're going to have to repair, and in the end it's going to stack up and be much worse. You don't want war to be stagnant. In fact, the best war to have is an unequal war. Take a look at, let's take a look at World War I. That war lasted for 4 years, from 1914 to 1918. And what happened? Practically the entire male population of Europe pretty much disappeared. They even go so far as to call it the Lost Generation because, well, they all died in World War One. Germany surrendered soon after the American entry into World War One because at that point of attrition, you need to understand that it was pretty much 50-50 throughout all fronts. At that point of attrition, it pretty much boiled down to a numbers game, which, once America added, Germany pretty much lost. Now, that's a long war. It devastated Europe. It devastated Germany in particular, and that's, in fact, one of the reasons why the Great Depression occurred was because of World War II. Or World War One. So, nasty war. But compare that to something like the Persian Gulf War, where it only lasted a month. Well, what happened? That's just a cliff note in history. Pretty much, one force was eradicated. Iraqi forces withdrew from Kosovo. Or not Kosovo, Kuwait. I'm getting my history mixed up. And eventually, Iraq turned out, well, not too bad. And then, of course, you had the Iraq War, which lasted forever, and Iraq is a fucking mess now. Point being, you don't want wars to be long. So, Sun Tzu and Clausewitz have different ways of dealing with it. For Sun Tzu, he's more of the stealth person. Basically, he believes that you need to know everything about the enemy, and the enemy needs to know very little about you. Information is everything. You also need to trick the enemy, and you need to appear weak when strong, so on and so forth, and you never underestimate your enemy. Doing so will eventually lead to victory. With Clausewitz, his idea is brutality. What you need to do, what he says is that you need to look at the strong points of a military and then attack it. And you also need to be brutal about it. So, back to Kuwait and Operation Desert Storm. That, well, that's a good way to put it. While they were fighting, the U.S. forces attacked very strategic strong points of the Iraqi forces. They would take out headquarters, they would take out satellites, they would take out radar, they would take out radios, navigation, things like that. And in doing so, they took out their greatest strengths and pretty much left Iraq with nothing but to surrender. So, Clausewitz believes that you need to attack the strongest point of the military, and once you do, that military is no longer strong. In Total War, the best way to go about that theory is to take out the generals. See, in this situation, I may have lost, but I took out 3 generals, I believe, or 2 generals. Unless by chance they retreated before they could, but I doubt that. We could take a look and see. Yeah, from the looks of it doesn't seem like he has any generals. Maybe I killed 1 or so on and so forth, but he's not in a position to attack me. But seeing what Sagami is, I might actually be in a good position to attack that. See, this guy is going to be pretty much useless. I wish I could recruit some more, but I kind of need to go with that, and that'll take me too long. So with that in mind, I'm going to muster up some military units for my assault, and then try to get into Sagami. This place, I am actually getting a stronger military, so I might need to actually take out, or take a few reserved Katana Samurai and fuse it into Saruga, so I can take out Sagami. That, I think, should work, But anyway, let's take a look at this Mitsuke, I believe? Or Metsuke? Alright, so let's see what I can advance. Counter-espionage, don't need it. Secret policeman, cunning when overseeing armies, and so on and so forth. I'll have to go with that. Why not? And let's pick a retainer. Alright, that looks good. Anyway, that should be about it. You know, sorry I haven't been uploading any videos, but, you know, like and favorite if you enjoy my videos, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a nice day.